like a camel colored leather. It was really cool.
That's funny.
Okay, you ready? Still not? I'm in, right?
Hey, Joe, is Erin Gugusari and Trent's wife? Yeah. She was great
Okay.
the other day at OBU.
Let's call a meeting to order. Take roll call, please. Doing the whirly twirly.
Matthews,
Here.
Madsen,
Here.
O'Neill, Stevens,
Here.
Fickner, Seymour, Richter.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, I'd ask Commissioner Matthews to give us the invocation, please.
Lord, thank you for the opportunity to come together, consider the business of our great city. Lord, we ask you to be with us as we work to find the best solutions and the best progress for our community. Give us soft hearts and open ears as we consider business. Help us to be gracious and kind to one another. We love you. Thank you for Jesus. His name we pray. Amen.
Amen. You join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Attention, salute, pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right.
I know, right? I know.
Item number 1, citizen participation. I think everybody here knows the rules. We'll go ahead and start. Mr. Glenn Peck, please, approach.
Your Honor, while our special guests are coming, it is a very daunting feeling to realize I may be the oldest person in this room. I would gladly relinquish that title if someone wants to see me after the meeting. Your Honor, it's my pleasure to introduce to you our 2 new Salvation Army captains. These are folks that have got a lot of vinegar and spit in their wont to. They're people that if I were starting an organization, I'd hire them right off the get-go. Let me, Your Honor, do you want to come down and meet them? And is there a photographer in the house? Okay. Come, you guys want to stand? You guys want to stand here? Your Honor, this is Leanne. This is Thomas. Marion. And they are swell people. How about a Rick and Brand?
That cracks me up.
Very nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you too.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
Kiddos, time to do homework.
Hurry, we got 3 minutes.
What's that?
You better get back, we only got 3 minutes.
Yep, that's right. All right, next up is Miss Cindy Berger, please.
Hey everyone.
Cindy.
So I just wanted to come back because the first time I ever spoke in this room is because of an issue that I had at the school. Well, I'm back. There's still another issue at the school, and the reason why I'm coming to you is that because it still continues to involve school resource officers. Now, the school resource officers are employees of the Shawnee Police Department. So I personally have had several instances in which I did not feel that the police have actually done their job correctly or as their policy or states. So my request is, can we get an update from the police each month at these meetings as to how many reports do we have for theft? How many reports do we have for violent crimes? Any kind of information would be great, especially since the police department happens to have their own public information officer. So if we can get some more information to the public, I personally believe that would help with accountability for places like our school, where the school resource officers continue to have problems not doing their job. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Mr. Fred Turner.
Good evening.
Hello,
Well,
Fred.
I wanted to come today to talk a little bit, in fact, it dovetails with the lady before me, but really, I want to make sure that the commissioners and the lawyer and the city manager and anybody that works for the city is aware of this new law that took effect that was, the first in is House Bill 2163. And basically, I never have understood how anybody can stand up here for 3 years and ask the city commissioners questions and never get an answer to anything. Well, this new law says that if a citizen submits a question to the city, and then he files something with the Attorney General and says, and it basically the city has 60 days to answer the question. If not, then it goes to mediation between the city and the individual. And what's important about that is this individuals in the past had to hire their own lawyers. And I don't know if anybody's tried to hire lawyers in this town. They either take it or they won't. But a lot of them have a lot of conflicts, so you can't get any attorneys to represent you. In fact, when I had a problem with the school board, I went to 7 different attorneys. 2 of them out of town, 5 of them in town, and I said, I'll prepay the bill. I just want you to slow things down for 2 weeks. I couldn't get anyone to take it. So that's the first interesting thing, and how it works exactly, you'll have to file a complaint with the Attorney General also, but basically it's 60 days and the city has to answer the question. Now, they don't have to answer a question about someone's medical record or different things like that, and the Attorney General's entity will rule on whether that's a valid question. And the valid question would be, can we see all the police reports, just like that lady said? Can we see the reports on all the burglars that were last week? So there are legitimate questions that the city will have to answer basically in 60 days. Now the other one is also important, House Bill 2164. Now it doesn't go into effect until November the 1st. Now this is an important bill for anyone that works for the city, anyone that's on the city commission, any lawyer that works for the city, anyone that works for the city is under this bill, because you have to disclose your conflicts of interest. I know we had one commissioner, she's not here now anymore, and instead of actually telling everybody she had a conflict of interest at advice of counsel, she just didn't come to the meeting. So everyone's going to be under that. If anybody have any questions about this, you should. Anybody have a question? I would have the lawyer give a brief to the citizens and how this will be handled.
Thank you, Fred.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Ms. Susan Morris.
Hello, good evening. The term built environment refers to our human-made surroundings where we live, work, and play. The Built Environment Committee is a committee of POGO, also known as Potawatomi County Go, and is funded by the Avitas Foundation. Built environments include affordable homes, residences near and above retail spaces, community centers. We have 2 here in Shawnee. I think that's great. Schools, hospitals, parks, roads, bridges, transportation systems, streets, sidewalks, farm-to-market roads, and structures. Kids and parents examine a neighborhood during a walking school bus audit. It's fun. They take a look at the state of the neighborhood that they're in. They visit neighborhoods that kids might not have otherwise explored. They identify safety issues that, I might add, make it hard for kids and old ladies like me to walk the streets. We have involved middle school students in a city planning event. For their perspective on the community, we learned about insect and tree zoos and additional locations for retail space and additional suggestions for various retail entities. We're planning another session this year. Pedalpalooza is a celebration of safe bike riding for all ages. There are bike checks, food trucks, free helmets, a bike parade for kids 10 and under, and an adult or family bike ride. So join us on September 20th for the second annual Pedalpalooza. Walking audits are sort of a walking school bus experience for adults. Again, the state of the area walked. Are handicap ramps marked? Do traffic lights work? Are overgrown or trashy vacant lots in the neighborhood? Sidewalks in good shape and clear? The Built Environment Committee identified several pedestrian obstacles in recent audits. Do the items always get fixed? No. There's a directional mat at an intersection on Farrell that was identified 2 years ago as backwards and thus unsafe for those using canes or those who are visually impaired. It's still backwards even today. However, on South Beard, the snow cone, the light at the snow cone stand is sort of fixed. It doesn't always work, but it's sort of fixed. There's always going to be more to do. Join an audit or start a walking audit in your neighborhood. Our structures or built environments stand next to our natural environment, and both play a role in shaping safety, health, and accessibility, all parts of our quality of life. When I talk about implementing the built environment and being a part of this committee, I'm referring to making our Shawnee more accessible, livable, and safer for kids, for old people, and for all those in between. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. All right. On to item number 2, consent approval, or consider approval of consent agenda. And can we get a motion on that one?
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. And item carries 4-0. On to item number 3, consideration of a modification agreement with Oklahoma Department of Transportation, ODOT, regarding the grade, drain, and surface Kickapoo Street project, state job number 3225504. We'll call on Seth Barkheimer, Director of Engineering, for staff report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As you said, this item is a modification to the existing agreement with ODOT. It formally assigns responsibility for some of the environmental mitigation along Kickapoo to the city. As you know, we're gearing up for the widening of Kickapoo from Spur to Farrell. And this mitigation effort is a precursor to that construction actually beginning. With that, I've included quite a bit of information in the packet, and but I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have. Staff does recommend approval of the item.
Okay. Any questions for Seth on this item 3?
I do have questions, actually.
Okay.
So, the way that I read this, it seems as if, so one part of this is a former site of either
Correct.
a tank of some sort. The other site is a current active site, correct? Is the current active site, is that a normal seepage, or, do you know what I'm asking when I say
so
that? Okay.
the site that's currently occupied
Yes.
had a previous tank that had issues.
Okay,
So they do not currently have a leak there, if that makes
Okay,
sense. And
yes.
there is a monitoring well there that the Corporation Commission tests on a regular
Okay.
basis to indicate that. With that said, the former leak caused contaminants that now has to be mitigated as part of this project.
okay,
So that's why it was identified in the NEPA portion for mitigation. So,
Do-
we have to mitigate the soil that's within the right of way.
sure. There's specialty insurance for that. I would assume that being a gas station, that they would have to obtain that specialty insurance. Have we looked to see if they have insurance to cover any of this cost that we could subrogate?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay. Thanks, sir. And can we get a motion on item number 3?
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Second.
I'll second.
I'll third. Item carries 4-0. Okay. On to item number 4, consideration of a resolution declaring certain items of personal property surplus and no longer needed for city projects or city purposes, describing said items, and authorizing the sale or disposal at the city's discretion. Emergency Management, calling Rachel Erickson, Emergency Management Director, for staff report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners. More of a maintenance item here. I've got 3 pieces of equipment requesting to surplus. It's an 84 Caterpillar road grader, an 85 road grader, and a 2000 International bucket truck. Staff recommends approval. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Rachel? These are really old pieces of equipment.
And we've replaced them, right? We've got brand new.
They were not needed. They were for the disaster cleanup, pushing debris to the curb. We haven't used them since, and they're just costing a lot of money to maintain.
Okay.
Like an 84, 85 model, something like that?
Surplus from the military, so yeah.
Yep. Got you. Any more questions for Rachel? Can we get a motion on item number 4?
Move to approve.
I'll second.
A motion and a second. Calling City Attorney to read the resolution title, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution declaring certain items of personal property surplus and no longer needed for city purposes, describing said items, and authorizing sale or disposal at the city's discretion.
All right. Item number 4 carries 4-0. On to item number 5, consideration of a resolution declaring certain items of personal property surplus no longer needed for city purposes, describing said items, and authorizing the sale of said items to the Stroud Fire Department. Call on Mark McLean, Deputy Fire Chief, for staff report.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners. So on July 22nd of this year, the fire department received our new shift commander vehicle as part of our 2025 CIP. With the addition of this truck, we no longer have an operational use for our 2017 Chevy Suburban that previously served in this role. We are seeking approval from the commission to sell that apparatus to the Stroud Fire Department for $10,000. Staff recommends approval. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Any questions for Mark on item 4? Thank you, sir. I'm calling City Attorney to read the resolution title.
I'll move to.
Oh, we got to move.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second. Now Joe can read it.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution declaring certain items of personal property surplus and no longer needed for city purposes, describing said items, and authorizing the sale of said items to the Stroud Fire Department.
Thank you, sir. And item carries 4-0. On item number 6, consideration of establishing a Shawnee Downtown Revitalization Project Amendment Review Committee related to the City of Shawnee's Tax Increment Financing District, TIF, deferred from the June 16, 2025 City Commission meeting. I will go ahead and make a motion to defer to a future date.
Second.
Motion and second. Item carries 4-0. Item number 6, public hearing regarding a request to amend the planned unit development PUD restrictions for the Unity Medical Plaza, case number PUD 02-25. Applicant St. Anthony Shawnee Hospital Care Mission Energy Development LLC. We'll call Ms. Diana Hood, Diana Hood for staff report.
All right. Good evening, Mayor and committee members. My name is Diana Hood. I'm the city planner presenting this item on behalf of the planning department. As stated, this is a request to amend the regulations of the existing PUD located at the Unity Medical Plaza. It's located along the north side of West MacArthur Street, west of Kickapoo. The area is currently under a planned unit development with a base zoning of C2, which is regional commercial. The owner of the property, St. Anthony Shawnee Hospital, has authorized Mission Energy Development LLC to request a revision to the existing PUD to allow for solar panels to be installed in the northern undeveloped tract. The Shawnee Airport is located directly to the west, and across MacArthur Street to the southwest is located light industrial zoning. To the east lies both C1 and C2 zoning, and is the site of some apartments as well as the OBU sports fields. To the southeast lies the main OBU campus, zoned C1. The proposed amendment aims to add utilities and public service facility minor to the list of allowed uses in that area to allow for these solar panels. The original PUD established the entire area to be used solely for medical offices and other related uses. The base zoning of C2 on its own would normally require a conditional use permit, but the PUD amendment wants to establish this described use as allowed by right, which gives the applicant more freedom to decide timelines, installation details, those kinds of things. Let's see. Planning Commission recommended approval with a vote of 4-0. Are there any questions?
We're good. Thank you, Diana. At this time, we'll open the public hearing and ask if there's anyone here to speak for this request.
Mr. Mayor and Commissioners, my name is Jeff Brownhorst. I'm here representing Mission Energy, and I'm available if you have any questions on the project. I am in favor of it.
Okay. Any questions for the gentleman? I think we've all read up on it pretty good. Thank you, sir. Anybody that's here to speak for this request? Okay. Anybody here to speak against it? Okay.
Hello, I would ask that you maybe push this to a different meeting. My questions that I would have for somebody coming in to put in a whole bunch of an acre's worth of solar panels would be, how's that going to, exactly what is that going to be helping electricity? How's that going to help the people that already live in the community that work here? Are we going to save money using the hospital, or how's that going to affect us in the long term? And then things like, how will the solar panels affect our community if there's like a massive storm and destroys them? Because some of those things can leak into our drainage systems. So I just wonder what type of has any of that stuff been done? Has any of those questions been asked? There's, not much time to review it as a citizen. So I would just request that all those questions be answered before committing to such a big project with solar panels. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is it too late? Can I ask Mission Energy a question, Joe?
You can on the next one.
On the next one. Okay.
Anybody else here to speak against this request? Okay, at this time, we'll close the public hearing. Any discussion amongst the board, if any? Okay, on to item number 8, consideration of an ordinance to amend the planned unit development PUD restrictions for the Unity Medical Plaza, case number PUD 02-25, applicant St. Anthony Shawnee Hospital, care of Mission Energy Development, LLC. So we will call on Diana again, I guess.
As stated, this is the ordinance for your consideration to adopt the revision. PUDs by nature are a zoning overlay, which means they must be adopted by ordinance.
Any other discussion? I'm thinking no.
I do want to ask
Okay.
Mission Energy a couple of questions. Does this feed back in directly into the St. Anthony's grid, or is it into the overall grid of the city?
Yeah, so St. Anthony Hospital is purchasing the system themselves, and it is connected directly into their building.
Okay.
And about 99% of the energy will stay within the hospital.
Okay.
There will be a small export, and there's an agreement with OG&E to allow that export.
Okay. And then are there any, so it's feeding directly, there's not battery backup?
Correct. There's
Okay.
no battery, it's just
So
solar
there's
panels.
no lithium ion, there's nothing, it's just directly into the grid?
It's directly into the building.
Into the building, that's what I mean. I meant,
Yes.
I'm sorry, into the St. Anthony's grid is what I was, okay.
Correct.
Yes, okay. That's what I wanted to know, okay.
I have one question, it's probably combo for Jeff or Mark. I assume we have no FAA concerns?
So we have filed a request with the FAA, as we do on all of our solar projects. We have not got the final ruling back
So
yet.
doesn't move forward till they
Correct.
approve? Gotcha,
Yep.
thank you.
Thanks, sir. Any more discussion on our end? Okay, can we get a motion?
Move to approve.
Well, second.
A motion and a second. We'll call on the city attorney to read the ordinance title, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. An ordinance amending ordinance number 2380 NS in the planned unit development zoning overlay concerning the zoning classification of the following described property located within the corporate limits of the city of Shawnee, Pottawatomie County, Oklahoma, to wit: Benedictine Heights, beginning 657.96 degrees west and 33 degrees north of the southeast corner of the southwest quarter of Section 1, Township 10 North, Range 3 East, north 2,621.87 degrees to the line to the north line of the southwest quarter, east 661 feet, south 2,312.12 feet, west 375.92 feet, south 310 feet, west 282.08 feet. Point of beginning less 12.35 acres, platted into Unity Medical Plaza addition 2009-2261, and amending the planned unit development to allow utilities and public service facility minor as an allowed use by right.
Can you repeat that? Without looking, can you repeat that without looking?
We
No.
better
I'm
vote
not
on
happy
it.
with whoever drafted that legal.
Vice Mayor, did you have an opportunity to vote?
Oh, no. Oh, yes. Popped up, got it.
The motion carries 4-0. On to item number 9, public hearing of a request to rezone property located at a tract of land directly west of 4308 Faith Boulevard from TA Transitional Agriculture District to C1, Local Commercial District, case number RZ03-25, applicant Ricky Crane, care of Landy's Engineering. And I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to defer this to the September meeting.
Second.
So a motion and a second.
So, Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir?
if I may, we don't really require a motion on a public hearing, and the public hearing has been publicized. And so the action to defer really is gonna be on the next agenda item. Are you wanting to pass the public hearing to a date certain to correspond with the item?
Yes.
Okay. So in which case, we need to have a very specific date and time for the public hearing so that we can have continuing notice for anyone who has appeared today to speak at the public hearing
September 15th.
at 6:30, or excuse me, at 6 p.m.
Yes, sir.
So can we amend the motion to be the September 15th?
And to defer the, to defer the public hearing to,
September, defer the public hearing to December 15th at 6 p.m.
yes.
The motion carries 4-0.
I didn't vote on that. I didn't vote either. Yeah, no.
Let me start that over.
Okay. I voted.
My tab, oh, okay, there it goes. I was gonna say, my tab was still open and I hadn't done, okay.
That's left over from the last one.
Yeah, no. It was,
Oh, here we go.
I voted.
Okay, motion still carries 4-0.
I still didn't vote.
Okay, on to item number,
I still didn't vote. It's fine, I mean, I vote yes, that's fine, but it just, I don't know, it's not,
I think
it just keeps disappearing and then popping back up.
it passed 4-0.
thank you.
And I reset it.
Oh, it keeps popping up on our display. Yep. Thought they were really quick. Thought I was fast. Okay. On to item number 10, consideration of an ordinance to rezone property located at a tract of land directly west of 4308 Faith Boulevard from TA Transitional Agriculture District to C1 Local Commercial District, case number RZ0325, applicant Ricky Crane, care of Landy's Engineering. And again, I would like to make a motion to defer this item to September 15th at 6 p.m.
Second.
Now, oh, there we go.
Got it.
It's not popping up at all now.
Pissed it off.
Yes.
It passed 4-0. I don't have some delay.
Okay. Motion carries 4-0. On to item number 11, acknowledge monthly sales tax report. We're calling Kimberly Smith, Finance Director, for staff report.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. The sales tax for August totaled $2,703,874.05, which includes $4,347 in interest. The revenue is distributed across 8 funds. This receipts are August are for estimated July sales and final sales for June. August 2025 collections had a 3.08 decrease over August of last year. When comparing collections to the conservative budget projections for August, we are 3.38% above projections for the month and 0.35% above collections year to date. Use tax for August totaled $460,981.06, which is 10.55% increase projected collections for the month. Across Shawnee's peer cities, half of the cities showed a decrease and half showed an increase in the use tax. When you combine the use tax and the general fund portion of the sales tax, the general fund is currently $33,528 above projections. On the third to last page of the report is the sales tax collections comparison chart by month for 12 months. This comparison includes Shawnee's peer cities of Yukon, Ardmore, Muskogee, Bartsville, Stillwater, and Eden. These cities were selected with 3 factors in mind: population, city tax rate revenue, and revenue per 1% sales tax. All these cities saw an increase in sales tax from August 24th to August 25. On the second to last page of the report is the use sales tax collections comparison chart for the month for the last 12 months. This comparison includes Shawnee's peer cities of Yukon, Ardmore, Muskogee, Bartsville, Stillwater, and Eden. Most of those cities saw a decrease in use tax from 24 to 25. The last page of the report is a graph that shows the year-over-year sales tax growth by month. It also captures the South Region Consumer Price Index as well as the average year-over-year change for Shawnee sales tax receipts for over the last 12 months. 3 of the last 5 months have seen a downward trend when you look at the year-over-year by month. I'll answer any questions.
Any questions for Kimberly? Comments? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, on to item number 12, administrative reports. Presentation of the quarterly 2018 half-cent sales tax report. Seth Barkheimer, interim assistant city manager.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. It's time for another update on the half-cent sales tax. I want to share some information. It'll be in a similar format to what you guys have seen previously, but I'll try to hit some different high points and keep it moving for time's sake here. So, get this to work for me. There we go. First of all, a little background for those watching at home and in the audience. In June of 2018, the City of Shawnee voters passed a half-cent sales tax to add on to our existing sales tax. The rate went into effect on October 1st, 2018, and is set to expire September 30th, 2028. The special sales tax is allocated for capital improvements with 25% for public safety, 25% for streets and roads, and the remaining 50% for parks and public facilities. Since inception of this special sales tax, we've allocated 25.2 million, or we've collected 25.2 million in revenue, and invested 26.1 million into community projects through June of 25. 3.8 million was spent in fiscal year 24, and 3.5 million was spent in fiscal year 25. I think it's an important time to highlight that those numbers are correct, right? We have actually exceeded our collections with our investments to date. We're able to do that by obtaining some loans early in the collection timeline to jumpstart some of the projects. But now, as we get toward the end of the collection period, you're seeing those numbers kind of come back together. I highlight that really as a way of kind of bragging about our progress. So, some municipalities will wait till the collections occur before any progress starts in construction, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but I do think it's a point worth highlighting that staff and commission, you guys have been very intentional in carrying out the projects identified in the 2018 project list, and we've had a lot of success in project delivery, getting the projects complete. It's normal for projects on tax initiatives like this to lag behind the collections, because after all, we do need the money to do the project. So as we look at the project list in a moment, I want you to look at it through that lens, knowing that we're working to complete some of the projects, and I think we're at a minimum on schedule, if not ahead of schedule on the project delivery side. So investment updates over the last quarter. In the fourth quarter of fiscal year 25, we invested 1.3 million into the Fire Station 3 remodel and 142,000 at the expo. So getting into looking at the public safety breakdown, as I said earlier, 25% of the overall tax is allocated to this category. It was originally projected to be about $7.5 million. The good news for us is our collections have exceeded projections, and our current projection on revenue is a little over $8.5 million. So for this category, public safety, a majority of the projects are complete, right? So we got the new police station over off Independence. We got new squad cars running around town. We got a new fire engine that you might have seen running around with cool new decals on it. The emergency management team has worked hard and upgraded our tornado sirens. Looking at the two projects on the list that are not completed, Fire Station 3 is in its finishing stages. We're hoping to cut the ribbon on that probably in the next month or two, hopefully into September. And it's going to be an incredibly new, updated facility. We're excited to showcase that and let the guys put that thing to use. For Station 1, on that same item, Chief Krajwanek and the City Manager's Office have begun efforts to scope what that renovation will include. It admittedly won't be as intensive as Station 3, but will still, provide a much-needed facelift and hopefully give our guys downtown something to be proud of. Lastly, that leaves the fire training structure. This is a project that, for whatever reason, has kind of been pushed to the end of the to-do list on the half-cent sales tax, but lucky for us, as we're getting to the end of that list, it's kind of getting more attention. So it was originally slated for $300,000. In reality, that's not enough to construct a new tower. So the CMO and the fire management team and you guys as commissioners we're going to put our heads together and figure out how to meet the best intent of that funding. So I have faith over the next year, as we shift our focus to this project, we'll be able to find a way to accomplish that project and move it towards completion. So the next category is streets and road allocations. Much like public safety category we just spoke on, this area also increased due to our sales tax collections overperforming the original projections. You'll notice that this category's expenditures have really lagged behind the other two categories, but the good news is we do see an end to that, even well ahead of the 2028 end of the collection period. The 45th Street project is at the tail end of right-of-way acquisition, and utility relocation should be beginning soon. The more generalized category of overlays and panel replacement is also going to see some movement over the next quarter as we look to complete some paving work through our unit rate contract. The last category is parks and public facilities. The first row shown is the implementation of the Parks Master Plan. That implementation came in the form of Kid Space and Woodland Veteran Park upgrades. Both of those parks turned out to be incredible. Kid Space has won multiple awards and really is a world-class asset, really made possible solely through the half-cent sales tax. The second row is improvements and upgrades at the Expo Center. You know, we've been more active in this effort as of late. If you looked at the CIP this year, that really just went into effect in July. You'll notice that we've had several projects and asset purchases coming. Even on tonight's consent agenda, you all approved a purchase of a new water truck for the Expo. So we're hopeful that this investment will shine a light and create some progress out at the Expo. So sidewalks and trails is complete. We leveraged the allocation through the half-cent sales tax and partnered that with funding through Avitas. Completed several different sidewalk projects around town. You guys would probably remember that as like Highland and Kickapoo and Independence. They all saw significant sidewalk projects from this allocation. On the depot, I think this one's been covered pretty well, but you're likely up to date there. But the roof project is complete. We spent well above the original allocation in that first project to make sure that great building was preserved. There will obviously be continued conversations around how to continue that renovation effort. But as far as funding from the half-cent sales tax is concerned, the depot project is kind of complete. So next up, I'm going to group some projects together, save on some time. These projects are either complete, substantially complete, and as you can see at the bottom there, we have some unassigned funds from the overperformance of the sales tax in parks and public facilities. So lastly, as always, I want to thank the people of Shawnee for supporting the investments in our community with that 2018 vote. As you can see, that decision 7 years ago has really impacted the community for the better. We have a full 3 years of the collection left ahead of us, but I'm proud of the progress we've made and continue to make in the 2018 sales tax execution. With that, happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Seth? Okay, thank you, sir. On item number 13, new business. Any new business, Mr. Interim City Manager?
No, sir.
All right, item 14, Commissioner comments. I guess we'll start over here at...
I don't have any tonight.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Get your request.
This was a great, straightforward meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess we'll go back to Daniel. Any comments?
Oh, sure.
Daniel always has something to say.
No, I just have one. I spent a lot of my weekend on the campus of Oklahoma Baptist University, and just want to make sure everyone knows we've welcomed several hundred new residents to our community as they attend Oklahoma Baptist University. The new freshman class has moved in, and what a blessing it is for a community like our size to have a university of the stature of OBU, and current leadership really working to partner with the city and work together to make a cohesive community. And I'm just thankful for all they've been for our community for so many years, thankful for their leadership. And it was fun to see. I feel every year we get several hundred new vibrant faces, and it keeps our community young and helps us kind of thinking forward. And what an awesome opportunity we have to host them for 4 to 5 years and help them discover what they want to do, and hopefully we get a chance to hopefully they want to call this home. But great opportunity to welcome them, and thankful for OBU.
Thank you, sir. Greta?
So I saw item 2G on the agenda, and what that is the trailer that is for emergency management. And if you look at the details on it, it includes a bathroom and a kitchenette in that trailer. And I was really excited about that because having been through a tornado and then now wildfires, which to say that in the state of Oklahoma is just crazy to me to even think that we've had wildfires like we did in March. We need that trailer so badly, and I'm so happy that we were able to approve that for emergency management. So there are basic needs when our teams are out there are working on the recovery from things like tornadoes or fires or whatever it may be, and that trailer is going to provide those basic needs for our people, and I'm extremely happy about that. And then the other thing I wanted to say about the sales tax is that Seth and myself and a couple other people were talking at one point about this, how that works. And I never really thought about it until he brought up that when we approve a sales tax, we do a projection on what we think we can bring in, and then we base the projects on that projection. And we really can't, we have two options. We can either take out a loan and try to do those projects immediately, which is gonna have interest on it, which if you've ever calculated what you're paying a bank for interest, sorry, all banks put their earmuffs on, it's a lot. It's a lot of money that they collect on interest. So we either lose money that way, or we wait until we collect all the money and then we start the projects then. So there are options that we have there that either way, so it's not an easy answer, and it's basically using a crystal ball to try to figure out how we can do the best thing for the city while collecting sales tax. So it's just a very difficult matter to try to figure out numbers-wise and planning-wise, and so I really admire the things that we've gotten done as a city and how we've gotten it done within mostly projected budgets and things like that, because that's it's very, very difficult, because you can run into unforeseen things and have to pay for different things, so I think it's good work. Good work.
Chris, you just showed up. I know you have something to
For a
say.
few minutes. My apologies for being late, everybody. But I would like to say, last week, Shawnee Public Schools started, and so just kind of welcome the students in and OBU too, and hopefully let's have a good full semester for everybody. So that'd be it for me.
I'm going to echo that sentiment Commissioner O'Neill said at school started. I implore everybody, when you're out driving, keep your head on a swivel. Watch out for these little guys. Look out for the crossing guard. And just keep that in mind when you're blowing down Kickapoo or wherever. That I'm right in the middle of all the schools, so I'm used to it. But we've been doing all this all summer, not looking at crosswalks, and now we have to really start watching. I'd also like to thank Glenn Peck for bringing the Salvation Army captains in to introduce them. I think that's a very good deal. Looking forward to a good working relationship. And I think that's all I've got. With that, we're going to recess from City Commission meeting and convene in the Shawnee Airport Authority.
Oh, no. I don't know. Did it get me, Lisa?
I'm on the wrong one.
Did I show up? Am I showing up? No? Okay. It seemed like it didn't. Not voting?
Mine's acting funny too. I'm trying to.
Yeah, because it's cycling. It's cycling.
Oh, no.
It's buffering.
Okay. All right, item number 1, consider approval of consent agenda.
Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. There it is.
Yes. Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Thank you very much. Item number 2, consideration of an intergovernmental agreement with Oklahoma Department of Aerospace and Aeronautics for construction services to support capital improvement projects identified in the Shawnee Regional Airport Capital Improvement Plan for fiscal year 2026. We'll call Ms. Bonnie Wilson, Airport Manager, staff report, please.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners. I'm here with good news. We're making progress. So we've achieved the first phase of the project, which was the complete design of the pavement areas that are necessary to support the new T-hangar construction. And as you may recall, we signed, or you all authorized the signature of 3 agreements with ODAA to help us get through the design phase. And so tonight we're bringing you the agreement that will take us through the construction phase, and also clarifying where the funding is coming from, and letting you know that as soon as we receive the grant letter from the FAA saying that we're ready to go on that, then we can advise ODAA so they can award the contract to the construction contractor, Leak Enterprises. and another task order to the engineering firm so that they can work with us through the project, overseeing the construction, confirming all the tests, and making sure that the quality of the work is what we expect. There's a whole lot in the packet, like Seth says, and so I'm not going to read all of it to you, but I'd be happy to answer any of the questions that may come up.
Any questions for Bonnie on our construction? Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, can we get a motion?
Move to approve.
I'll second.
A motion and a second. Motion carries 5-0. On item number 3, any new business, Mr. Interim City Manager?
No, sir.
All right, by the power of the chair, we're going to recess from the Shawnee Airport Authority and convene in the Shawnee Municipal Authority.
Oh, I thought it let me, and I don't think it did.
All right, item number 1, consider approval of consent agenda. Can we get a motion?
Move to approve.
I'll second.
A motion and a second on item 1.
Yes.
Yes. Motion carries 5-0. Item number 2, any new business, Mr. City Manager?
No, sir.
All righty then. We're going to recess from the Shawnee Municipal Authority, reconvene in City Commission meeting by the power of the chair. Item number 15, consider an executive session to discuss the evaluation of the interim city manager pursuant to 25 Oklahoma Statute 307B1, discussing the employment, hiring, appointment, promotion, demotion, disciplining, or resignation of any individual salaried public officer or employee.
Move to approve.
A second.
Motion and a second. Yes. This is not working for me. Motion carries 5-0. Item number 16, consider an executive session in accordance with 25 Oklahoma Statute 307B4 to discuss confidential communications between a public body and its attorney concerning a pending investigation, claim, or action if the public body, with the advice of its attorney, determines that disclosure will seriously impair the ability of the public body to process the claim or conduct a pending investigation, litigation, or proceeding in the public interest, specifically regarding Potawatomi County case number CJ-2023-468 relating to the Fairview Mausoleum. Can we get a motion?
I move to approve.
I'll second the motion.
Have a motion and a second? There it is. Motion carries 5-0. With that, we'll recess to executive session. Okay. We can go ahead and reconvene now. Have power of the chair. I'm guessing we're all ready. Okay. Item number 17, consider matters discussed in executive session regarding discussion of the evaluation of interim city manager pursuant to 25 Oklahoma Statute 307B1, discussing the employment, hiring, appointment, promotion, demotion, disciplining, or resignation of any individual salaried public officer or employee.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we name Mark Simpson, city manager of the city of Shawnee, Oklahoma, subject to negotiation with the city attorney, a final contract and ratification of that contract by this commission at the September meeting.
I'll second.
Okay, have a motion and a
I'll
second.
get you.
Yeah, there's a test, Lisa.
Motion carries 5-0. Okay. Item number 18, consider matters discussed in executive session in accordance with 25 Oklahoma Statute 307B4 to discuss confidential communications between a public body and its attorney concerning a pending investigation, claim, or action if the public body, with the advice of its attorney, determines that disclosure will seriously impair the ability of the public body to process the claim or conduct a pending investigation, litigation, or proceeding in the public interest, specifically regarding Potawatomi County case number CJ 2023-468 relating to the Fairview Mausoleum. So we decided to take no action as of this evening, correct?
That's up to you guys. It is open, the floor is open.
Open for discussion.
Based upon the update received. If there are no motions,
There are
then there'd be
no
no
action.
action.
Okay. So we have no action on item number 18. With that, we are adjourned.